Did you know that Capcom has a strict timer for door animation openings? Well, I didn't know either until I spoke to a rep for the upcoming game Resident Evil Survival Unit, who told me that, alongside a list of other mandates that Capcom drafted up, likely also containing a demand that all burgers going forward had to look as tasty as the one in Resident Evil 2's remake.
That is a burger to die for.
Each door animation must be 7 seconds long. Must. All because it was deemed to be essential in capturing the authenticity of the original games. Which is absolutely mad, right? I mean, pretty cool, but absolutely mad. Yet here's a question. What if that door that took 7 seconds to open was your own? Because buckle in, my friends, because we're going to be talking today about the Resident Evil game that doxed you. Now, the Resident Evil franchise is no stranger to offbeat concepts, especially when it comes to their spin-off titles. I mean, we've had zombie elephants and crocodiles courtesy of the Outbreak files, a cartoon-ass looking first-person shooter for mobiles called Biohazard Assault the Nightmare, and I remember having my mind blown at the end of Operation Raccoon City, where you were tasked with straight-up murdering the main cast of the original games. Well, what was left of my mind, because I must have been this close to being sectioned for wanting to play that game through to the end. It was shit.
Why are you doing this?
Claire, I don't want to go. Please, no.
Sorry, we've got orders.
Still, the point stands that Capcom sure likes to get freaky with the franchise from time to time. But what about when things get truly weird? Like, I don't know, Resident Evil Survival Door, a Japanese mobile game in which you choose from numerically labeled doors in order to progress through the Spencer Mansion. I mean, seriously, that's the entire premise of the game. And I know that we had our hashtag fascinating door fact in the opening lines of this video, but an entire game based around it? It's hard to imagine anyone ripping the hinges off the door to play this one, right? But what about Biohazard Vendetta, a VR experience that actually allowed you to play as a zombie? Now we're cooking with gas. And by that, I mean a singular gas canister on a camping stove, because this experience, no matter how amazing it was to see Chris and Leon up close and personal, was over before my half tin of beans had begun warming up. Now, Biohazard Vendetta was a tie-in experience designed to promote the then upcoming film Resident Evil Vendetta, and it's here that we finally come to the start of our very strange show, because it's time to talk about another movie tie-in and knower of your home address, an experience called Street Invasion.
And he saw that it was good.
Now, straight off the bat, I know that you're probably looking at your screen and thinking to yourself, wow, Jules, this image quality sure is low, and it's so small that even my magnifying lens is calling out for yet another magnifying lens. And yes, apologies, the scant footage that does exist for this game is about as clear as an unflushed toilet, but hey, we're all just gonna swallow this low-resolution couscous with extra grain together, my friends. And this is because it all stems from the fact that Street Invasion was a browser game made by Avatar Labs to promote the release of the then upcoming film Resident Evil Retribution. And as such, in the year of our Lord 2025, is so dead and buried that even the T-Virus can't hope to resurrect them.
What's he do? Just say base or freeze. What a tip.
Partnering with Google Maps, or at the very least swiping as much data as they could, Avatar Labs set to bring the Resident Evil horror experience far closer than ever before. Because here, in Street Invasion, you type in your real-life address or use the site's Use Location button and be transported down to a literal hell on Earth. I know that's not me just judging where you live, but the fact that your street has now been infected with zombies. Using nothing but a handgun and the knowledge that your neighbor's shed would definitely make a perfect vantage point to shoot zombies from, you could advance through familiar roads and settings, blasting away at the undead. Hell, you could even zoom into locations not right by you, making for a rather more exciting take on a right-move house hunting session. Yes, sure, the double garage very much is to my liking, but that wide-open drive is making it very easy for the zombies to go up there and munch the brains of my children, so I'll go in under asking price. And you know what? For as simple as this idea was, this game was brilliant fun. Even if, on second thought, maybe posting images of where you live online while battling zombies probably wasn't the smartest of ideas.
Hey boys, bad idea.
The idea was pretty revolutionary for the time and definitely put some sizzle on Sony Pictures' rather underheated steak of a movie, especially when I remember seeing this pop up on like Facebook, because obviously this was 2012 and this was all we had, and my uni mates were sharing images of them shooting zombies back at our halls of residence. Although, admittedly, it was hard to tell which were the undead and which were the freshers coming back after a hard night on the sauce. They all had to die though. Nowadays, we have tons of games that seek to implement real-world surroundings into the gaming experience, especially with the likes of The Walking Dead R-World, which has combat that takes place in an AR arena based on your actual surroundings, or Hauntify Mixed Reality, which uses your actual house as the setting for a horror scenario. But Street Invasion was one of the first, and despite looking rough enough to act as a pumice stone, sure was a brilliant way of making the world aware of Resident Evil Retribution. And obviously where you live. And there we go, my friends, that was the Resident Evil game that doxed you. I hope you enjoyed this video and the new take on the deep cut. As always, I have been Jules. You can go follow me over my social medias over here, and you can follow my lovely and patient editor over on their social medias over here as well. Let me know what you think of the new format as well, and get ready, my friends, because there are some deep and very, very weird takes on the gaming community coming your way soon. And you need to be ready, my friends. But until then, take care of yourself. Big love to you, my friends. Hope that you treat yourself well with love and respect, because you deserve the best. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Zombies are making their way up the lawn. I don't like that, and they're munching on my children's brains. Sorry, book. He's dead.